we're running into a bit of a problem. I'm not only about to run out of space on this memory card, but I'm also about to run out of battery on this camera, which is an issue. But more than that, the problem really remains with the fact that I'm about to run out of film with this, the Pentax Auto 110. One of my underrated favorite cameras ever made. It is a quirky 110 film camera with interchangeable lenses. In fact, it is the smallest SLR with interchangeable lenses ever produced. And due to those reasons and many more, it is one of my favorites. Now, 110 film is the worst. If you want to talk about still film formats and, from good to worse, 110 film definitely holds the actually no, disc film. I think disc film I think that can be agreed upon as worse than 110, but the cassettes here are expensive. It's inconsistent at best, I would say. And more so than that, it's like a equivalent to 16 millimeter film thereabouts. So the quality you're getting is pretty low on the best of days. But beyond all of that, it's expensive. Lomography, I believe, is the only company. Film Photography Project might be making some 110 cassettes, but both them and Lomography are just repackaging existing film, I believe, from Kodak. There's the Tiger color film and the Orca black and white film. Or you could do what many people have done, such as myself, and pray to the internet gods that eBay has some relatively affordable expired 110 film for sale, and that's what we have in here today. We have Fuji Color 200 that expired sometime in the early 2000s. And if that's not bad enough, we also have to remember that it comes in a cassette, it's 110 film. So the developing costs are higher. It's a different film format, so the scans are going to be lower quality and much more expensive, as I'm sure you can imagine. Which, again, leads us to the point of what is this for? In the age-old discussion of fun versus funds, we're looking at something that is very fun. It's a funny little camera. It's a quirky little thing, but it costs a lot of money. So at times, I'm really willing to make that comparison. I'm really willing to make that leap. At other times, not so much. If you're purchasing fresher film, obviously the odds of taking better pictures are going to increase, as are the costs. If you're shooting with poorer film, the odds of taking a good picture are going to decrease, but the fun of getting a good image is going to increase when it inevitably comes out. In fact, I'm going to show you all a few images I've taken with this camera with expired Western Family Film, which is a company I learned very recently was actually from a place here nearby. It's over there, Tigard, Oregon, which growing up I always called Tigard because I had this little Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, had a spring in his tail, and I would bounce him down the stairs and stuff. My mom watches these videos. She'll probably know what I'm talking about, but if not, I digress. The Auto 110, again, has interchangeable lenses, which lends itself to many things. You have on here right now a 18 millimeter, which roughly translates to about 36 millimeters. I have a 50 millimeter lens, which again translates to about 100 millimeters because 16 millimeter is about half of what 35 millimeter is, thereabouts. So you double it and then you half the aperture. So whereas this says it's a 2.8, it's probably more like a 5.6. The shutter speeds on this camera are incredibly limited. It's definitely lending itself to brighter days such as this. Slow speeds are pretty inaccurate, but they can still lead to some fun images. But again, because you're dealing with lower quality film, even if you are dealing with fresh film, it's still lower quality. There's less detail than 35 millimeter, significantly less than 120. You're going to get much more grain. You're going to get much more grit to it, which can be a stylistic choice if you know what you're looking for. And I think that's kind of the point about this camera. While there is the trade-off from fun to fund, there is still an element of uniqueness to it. It is a conversation starter. You bring this out, show it to your pals, they're going to be excited and enthralled with a camera that's this small. It's a good little backup if you want to have like a low quality picture to take, or some fun memory to hold on to. It's cheaper than Super 8 film, a little bit more expensive than a camcorder would be. But that leads me to another good point, is that I like to travel with this camera, but it's big. That is a big camera. I have a little camcorder, and I'll bring that with me just about everywhere I go because it takes up next to no room in my bag. It's super easy to use. I can show anyone how to use it in under like 2 minutes, and they can take really fun, low quality, decent quality, home video style things that invite this sort of exuberance and joy in the viewer that you don't really get out of a flat image from a cinema camera. I mean, like, you can get that out of this, but it takes a lot of tweaking. It takes a lot of time. And I feel like this not only has so much personality in its form factor and in its shape and in how quirky it is to use, and the small tinkering sound of the Advance and the soft little rattly shutter sound, but it also has a lot of personality in the photos that it produces. Hence the images that I'm showing you now. So what you end up with is an image quality that's not the best thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world, a camera that's the smallest in the world, but with a decent variety of lenses that you can use on a number of different occasions. I have a 50mm lens, as mentioned, which turns this into a telephoto pocket beast. I could take nature photos if I want to. I could take long-range street photography photos if I want to without anyone noticing I even have a camera. And that alone is impressive and worth discussing. It is so small sometimes I forget I even own it, but every time I look at it again, every time I take it out with me, every time anyone asks me, what's a camera that just makes you laugh, that makes you, that fills you with joy, it is this, hands down. It's not the camera for every day. Definitely not. Without a fucking doubt, it is not the camera for every day. But for a special occasion, for a little treat, for just a fun little, walk around the park, you don't want to bring the big camera. You don't want to have a whole thing. But if you want to just have something to maybe capture a little memory, to savor the moment, the beautiful light coming down, cascading through the leaves of the tree. You go on a picnic with your friends and you just want to see the spread and to see the joy on your friend's face. Get one of these, bring it with you. There's few better options than that. The overall build quality of it is not the best thing in the world. It's a lot of plastics, a lot of small gearing. Sometimes there's an issue in the bottom with the advancing, but that's fairly easy to fix. I believe I have a video on it. If not, I've done it before. All this to be said, it's a great camera. Worth the cost at times, depending on when you're using it. I think it just helps to go into it knowing that these are a little bit more expensive. Extra lenses are a lot more expensive. And beyond all of that, the film, the developing, and the scans are going to leave you with a lot more fun than funds. So just remember that. But if you're okay with that, if that's a decision that you're happy with, you can't really go wrong, in my humble opinion. That is the Pentax Auto 110, a camera that I want to continue talking about and continue using for as long as I am shooting with film cameras, because it's just so stinking fun. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you've shot with a Pentax Auto 110, what your experience was like, and what film you shot with. I'd love to hear. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.